Hi, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, good.
Right. Can you tell me what was your most challenging part of your vulval cancer experience?
It was horrible.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Painful, confusion, emotional and physical challenges.
I totally understand that. That's exactly how I felt as well. And there's lots of other women feeling the same, and that's why we need to speak out as we are.
Yeah.
So, when we first noticed something was wrong, what led to your diagnosis?
Pap smear.
A pap smear. Okay. And what happened at that stage? When did you get your diagnosis from the pap smear?
2015.
Right. Okay. And what kind of support during your diagnosis treatment? Did you have any support?
Just my friends and family,
Yeah.
but the rest was a blow.
Yeah. But it seemed to me like there was nobody there for me, even though mine was a long time ago. But I still feel in this day and age there still isn't the support for women enduring this horrible cancer. So what treatment did you undergo and how did it affect your body and your emotions?
I've had 13 vulvectomies skinning to take away the VIN3.
Right.
Psychological, it messed me up. Playing the who's to blame? Yeah, who's to blame? Is it my husband or
Yeah, that's all the questions that go through your mind, and it's totally amazing that, we have breast cancer and a lot of support for breast cancer, but there's a different kind of issue that we have with vulval cancer and what goes on in our minds.
Yes.
So, were there any unexpected challenges experienced during your recovery?
Infections.
Infections, yeah.
Infections all the time. I spent a month in the hospital with an infection and they had to give me 5 days of intravenous antibiotics.
Wow, I hear these stories over and over again, and it's unbelievable how, I don't know how women survive like they do, and this is why I do what I do, because, I needed a voice, and that's why I'm hoping that I can help you today with being able to share your story.
Yes.
And so how did you cope with any feelings like fear, of anxiety or uncertainty? How did you cope with that?
Angry, crying, blaming. Just not feeling good about my situation.
And I totally understand that, because my husband had 5 bypasses 2 years after my operation, because where are the men in this picture? The men are in the background and really don't quite understand what it's all about. And how can we get the understanding out there if we don't talk about it and get it out there?
Yes.
Did you feel supported by your healthcare team, and what could they have done better?
Could have connected me with others, like support groups. I did have the option, but it was too far to go. They could have looked after you better, especially when you've got an infection and you're wide open down there.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part of it.
Yeah. And see, what I would lobby for is to have a specialised vulval cancer nurse, like the breast cancer women have. But if we had a specialised nurse who knew the full understanding, but it's also the connection with other women that have had the same, because when I first found another woman, coincidentally, it was magic to me, and it's like you and I being able to share like this. It's hard to describe.
Yes.
So how did you maintain your sense of self and identity in the process?
Isolate.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Drops your self-esteem.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't feel good about everything.
No. And I still find, even 30 years after mine, I'm still finding other women like yourself that have got nowhere to turn. And, you know, it's the connection between one another that is really, really important.
Yeah.
So what advice or insights would you give to others who may be going through the similar experience?
Reach out to others that are experienced with it. Knowledge, like we need knowledge, and doctors need to know knowledge about it too, especially the male doctors that don't seem to care.
Yes, well then I feel as though they're not given the full education and the understanding and how to deal with these things. And I know there's not a lot of research with vulval cancer and particularly lichen sclerosis. And I think it's time that we push through this pain, through the pain barrier and through the embarrassment, and get women's groups to come on board and have a great understanding about vulval health.
Yes.
Have there been any lasting impacts or changes in your life since your treatment and diagnosis?
No sex drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't feel like you're a woman anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's the saddest and the hardest part about us women that are out there floundering around trying to find answers. And the sexual side is, it's just not discussed. And yet, you know, we're still females, we're still humans, we're still sexual. And it's just time that we, you know, somehow or other got the powers that be to do something about it.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wish more people understood about vulval cancer?
Prevention of diseases, knowledge, yeah, people just need to understand that it's not, I don't know how to say
People need to understand about vulval cancer and understand what we as women are going through and give us support. But if people don't know how to support that and they're embarrassed themselves, well then we have to change that mindset, I feel.
Yes.
So I'm pleased to say that I have an article coming out in the Royal Australian New Zealand Gynecological and Obstetrics and it's themed the vulva. So, you know, with hopefully that goes out to 6,000 gynecologists, and also that will have a ripple effect on women's organisations and the UN Women, and just hopefully that would support the next women that come along. And with this lack of understanding and knowledge, preventative knowledge, well then, you know, we just have to keep telling these stories until we can get better research and support. So I just want to thank you so much for volunteering your time to do this today, because it's not just me that's out there, we need other women to stand up and speak out. So on that note, Viva la vulva to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.